Well, are we live? Hi, Loose on the community. This is I'm Claire Ito. This is my baby brother Blake Ito. Not so much a baby. Ito siblings. We have Mika on the camera and Matt behind the other camera. Keeping our quarantine circle really tight here, so it's a family production once again. So if you guys remember last time, we actually did the Pacific Red Snapper coming out of La Paz. So to keep the theme of Baja, which is kind of our anchor here at Seafood Club, to keep that alive, right now we're going to be featuring another species coming out of Baja as well, called this one is Kampachi. So Blake, if you want to hold it up and show them. This is a whole Kampachi. This is really delicious, responsibly raised by King Kampachi Farms. They have the science, they have the technique, they have everything that all the accolades, they have community accreditation, all sorts of things that Matt will get into a little bit later. But this is one of the species that we have consistently as it is farm raised. Once again, we'll get into a bit more of the discussion between what farm raised means for aquaculture and what are good farms that you can actually purchase from. And you can actually choose to support. So yeah, as we will get into a bit later, there's a limited supply of wild fish out there. So in order to meet the demand for enough fish for everybody, we have to have our control of certain populations, and so that we're not depleting any one species in the wild. But anyway, so what we're actually going to be doing is preparing our Kampachi. We're going to be preparing it with actually ceviche style. So if you guys have been to Mexico or anywhere in South America, there's so many different varieties of ceviche that you can try, but essentially it's marinating fish in lime juice, and that actually, once you put it in raw, the lime juice will cook the fish in about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's actually one of our family's favorites. Our mom is Latina, so we pay homage to our Latin roots all the time, and yeah, we absolutely love it. And it's so hot right now, y'all, so I'll say this is the perfect recipe for this weekend.
Yeah, let me cut some fish. Let's do this.
All right, so actually, if you guys, just forewarning you, if you guys are not okay with watching a fish breakdown, things like that, just go ahead and step aside for maybe 5 minutes, and we can get you back with the cauliflower or when the fillet is actually done. But just warning y'all that are sensitive, because it could be hard for some people.
Alright, cameras. If you guys want to come over here, you guys can get closer. Just get a look at what we're doing here. So, just give you an idea too, this is not how you guys are going to be receiving the fish. We just wanted to do a whole fish just for presentation wise, just to show you guys how fresh it is. So this is a gilled and gutted fish, has no guts, as you can see here. Nice and clean on the inside. So yeah, I'm just basically going to take the head off and do a couple cuts, little swipes of a swipe, and then we're going to have 2 fillets and 2 collars. So first cut is right above the, what do you say, this is the pectoral fin. So I'm going to cut it at an angle here, kind of like a 45, with an angle here too.
Hey Blake, how do your knives have to be sharp?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I sharpen my knife. Thank you, Claire, for reminding me to always sharpen my knives.
You guys do not cut a fish with a dull knife. That is the most dangerous thing that you can do.
Right. So that's the technique right there. You hold this fin right here, cut underneath them right here at an angle. So I start off right near the head. There's a lot of meat right here. There's a lot of meat right near the head. So like that, and cut all the way down. Cut through like that. And I actually always wipe my blade for scales, different thing like that. So right now, I'm actually gonna do this cut. So right down the spine, gonna cut from right here. Just kind of, it's nice and it's a little thick right here by the head. And that's also why we're not really selling these things whole, just because, you know, people are still getting used to filleting their own fish. So, you know, once there is a demand for people to fillet their own fish, there's no doubt we would make that adjustment. But for now, just for simplicity, for safety, it's you know, we just do a fillet. So right now I'm basically holding the knife right above the rib cage and the bones, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling every time I go over this, I'm basically just feeling the bones kind of click, 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 you know? There you go. So I am just clearing the flesh from one side, making sure that I am cutting right on top of the rib bones. Sometimes, you know, if you're a little inexperienced or you have a mistake, you can cut on either side of the rib bones. Just for presentation, you could mess it up, but besides that, you're fine. Alright, so now, here, I'm gonna cut right here. So I'm gonna cut the other side free. So I'm gonna go right here by the tail. Alright, here we go. Just right above this bone line. Just trying to get that thick skin. Alright, so now I'm pushing pressure down. I'm not cutting down, I'm cutting with this kind of pressure. Bending the knife.
Yeah, and when you're looking for characteristics of a fillet knife, you're looking for something that obviously is sharp and durable, but you also want something with good flex in it so that you can move the knife with the anatomy of each different fish.
Alright, so at this point right now, alright, I'm gonna free the fillet from the spine right here. So what I do here is I take this flesh, and I put my knife right in that little space right there where the spine is. Cut right here, all the way down the tail. That's free. I put my hand right here on the fillet. Make sure that this meat, I'm not cutting with this part of the knife. And I'm pushing that pressure again, right? So nice and, there you go. Alright, there we go. All the way to the head right here. So, like that. Make sure it's not attached at all. This is when you go like this. Boom.
Beautiful.
So we got ourselves, that's a nice fillet right there. You got no waste. Alright, so at this point right here, let me get a little plate for this guy right here. Here, and I'll show you guys. So look closely. People are asking what kind of knife am I using right now. So this one right here is a Victorinox. Yeah, so this is a Swiss blade, really nice Western blade, meaning it has two different angles to it. So I'm gonna take the rib cage out real quick.
We're not sponsored. We just use them.
Yeah, we're not sponsored.
We wish.
I just think that it's good to, you know, tell your friends and family about good products. So, all right, so I did an upside down cut the rib cage out, and then right here, gonna get it underneath it, right? All right, with my hand right here, I'm gonna do a little bit of a J, cut out. So here we go. J, out. J, out. You're hugging as much meat as you can to those rib bones, or as little meat as you can to those rib bones, and then you don't want to waste anything here. There we go. Careful, cameras. Don't want to get cut. There we go. So not too much waste there. All right.
Clean, brother.
There we go. That's that meat on that side.
Ooh,
Taking the collar off here, right here. So you got this. So this is the little collar trick. There's a little anatomy right here. There's a little bone. If you cut underneath it, you actually easily, instead of cutting hard through a bone, real easy. It's like that. So that's a collar right there. And I'm gonna get the other fillet a little bit faster, so we can get Matt actually cooking this guy right here. This is the collar. It's actually one of the fattiest parts of the fish. It has a little bit of the belly, and right near the, this chest plate, there's actually a lot of, it doesn't move too much right there, so it has a lot of fat. So I'm just doing the same thing here. Push the fish over. I can just go through here. Like that. So also, same thing on this side. Got the little thing right there. Cut that free. You got two Kampachi collars right there. Alright, so I'm gonna cut this up real quick. So down with the tail. Like that. Alright, there we go. One smooth motion. There you go. Come again. Don't push too hard on the fish.
let the knife do the work, y'all.
Yeah, that's what a sharp knife will do. The work. Cool. Alright, do this side.
That's a good cut, brother.
Thank you.
Nice.
Alright, let me cut that little head. So this head is really good if you want to use it in a broth or anything like that. You actually can just boil it down, make a good dashi out of it. Anything else you can do with it, Claire? No?
The Japanese like to, you actually can eat the actual meat from the head if you guys want to make fish head soup, or even like this. The spinal column is so delicious as well, and there's lots of collagen and a lot of things that a lot of people look for in beauty tips now.
That was a little graphic.
Yeah, careful, guys. Clean up your board, we're good.
Alright. Cool. So this is it. This is that right there. Boom. Got ourselves a Kampachi. See that? You got very little meat wasted.
Good job.
And
Billy.
again, you can use this whole carcass in a stew or some kind of dashi, which is, you know, a little, it's like a fish broth, right? The Japanese put in everything. It's really good. Even like risotto.
Yeah, we'll have a little dashi class later on if you guys want. Dashi is actually the foundation for the majority of Japanese sauces. So it's actually a combination of bonito flakes or some other fish element. So in this case, instead of bonito flakes, we're using the carcass of the Kampachi. Also, you can use kombu kelp, and it's actually just the combination of those two, where you can add shiitake mushrooms, different things like that. But we'll discuss that more later.
So anyway, there's your scraps right there. You got your collars right here. A lot of good meat. And then, again, we have our 2 fillets. So, with the meat touching the meat, there's your fillets ready to go. And, yeah, so we're going to do a little camera transfer now. I'm going to be manning the Instagram one, and then Mika's going to be doing some YouTube one. So, thank you guys for watching me cut down this fish.
Good job, brother.
And yeah, we're gonna switch over the camera to Claire. Claire's gonna take these fillets and turn them into a beautiful ceviche for this hot day. So let's get to it, Claire. I'm gonna clean up this mess. You guys don't have to film that.
Hey team, how we doing? Secular Sabbath. Okay, so before I touch any food, once again, Blake already had washed his hands and he had just put on fresh gloves. So that's his step. So if you guys didn't see that on camera, that's why he's wearing these gloves. But I'm gonna wash them, so hang tight. Maybe look at the fruit and veggies if you guys want.
Yeah, so today we got some cauliflower, some red cabbage, vine ripe tomatoes, and avo, some lime, some onion, red and white. Here's Blake.
Don't forget your thumbs, everybody. Thumbs between the fingertips. That's a great move.
And your nails.
And your nails. Sweet move.
20 seconds.
All right.
Okay, and we're back. Okay, everybody. So, if you guys are not big fans of Kampachi, or if you're a vegan or a vegetarian and you guys are not looking to eat meat this time, actually this recipe goes really well with cauliflower. So we'll go ahead and explain the cauliflower ceviche, but as soon as we get the fish going, then we'll show you guys the vegan alternative as well. Okay, so now that my hands are clean, let's go ahead and get this fillet. Blakey, these are beautiful. Yeah, so if you guys, there we go, 1, 2, 3. Always handle fish with 2 hands, and with the utmost respect. One thing that Blake didn't mention, but I always like to practice, and we're all gaining, but it's the sense of gratitude. And so once again, like we did last time, just take a moment, ikitakimasu, everyone just giving gratitude for the life form, for the Kampachi, for every tomato, every avocado, every lime, and all the forces, all the hands that transferred them to get us here, which luckily it's only the farmers and we're the direct importers, so luckily we have a lot of traceability there. So with that, okay, I'm gonna put this on the side. Okay, so the first step to get your fillet to what we're looking for is a knife. Let me get one.
Wow. Very clean tasting meat.
Yeah. So one of the things that you guys are going to see, the Kampachi is incredibly fresh. So if you guys have ever eaten at Nobu or Sushi Gen,
Sugarfish.
yeah, all the above, but specifically Nobu has this on the menu now and things like that. We sell to the people that then sell to Nobu. So in terms of freshness, this is the freshest and the exact same product, if not 5 days to a week sooner. So like I said, we're the intermediate, we're the first import. Seafood Club we purchased from Riviera Seafood Club, which is our literal father's company. And
Prime time.
Oh, sorry, Primetime Seafood, sorry. And, but yeah, anyway, long story short, it's literally, if you're missing Nobu, please try this Kampachi. It's literally the same thing, but a lot fresher. And you get your own hands at making your favorite dishes. So anyway, okay, so have your bowl ready. Always have, anytime you're prepping meat, always have your landing spot ready to go. And okay, so in this case, what we're going to do is, because we're going to be dicing it, we have the spinal column right here in the middle. So what we're going to do is be cutting just around it. Okay, so if you want to get your knife, just wipe it off, make sure it's clean, and make an incision all the way down. Okay. All right. So our first cut.
Beautiful.
So this is our belly loin, and this is really delicious, and it's a little bit thicker, but it crisps up really nicely, and it's really delicious. And this is the pure meat. You have the top loin, and what we're going to be doing is actually skinning it. You don't actually need the skin in this application, but if you guys like to, if you guys want, just fry it up and feed it to your dog, or eat it yourself because it's so delicious. But our puppies love it as like a little treat. So, okay. So what I'm doing here is taking the skin off the fish. So gripping with my left hand and using my right, and just wiggling the knife between the meat and the skin. Okay. You can readjust your grip, need be. All right. So just take your skin, put it off to the side, save it for your pups. And wipe your knife off, and as you can see, nice clean skin.
Nice.
Just flesh. Thank you, Nika. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here with this guy. How's everyone doing? Please submit any questions if you guys want in the end, because Brother Matt, our fact checker, Oracle guru, is going to be helping us out with some answers to some questions that we get a lot. So it's a little tougher here. All right, perfect. Once again, we got skin. All right.
Does the Kampachi come with the skin on or skin off?
Kampachi currently comes on with skin off, so you guys don't have to do this step. But we'll be playing around with some options just soon based on people's applications. But currently, Kampachi comes skin off, so there's these steps you don't actually have to do. All right. All right. Oh, it's exciting.
Always keep your board clean.
Always keep your board clean. Keep your set exciting. Okay, so let's switch these guys. All right, so to make it like the pieces more manageable, you can half this half of the fillet, so just quarter it right here. And you guys are gonna see how beautifully translucent that meat is. It's so beautiful and so fresh. Okay.
What does that translate to in taste?
Oh, it's buttery. The miroir is absolutely delicious. So if you guys tried the La Paz snapper last week or a few weeks ago, then you'll know that it's just deliciously sweet and subtle, and you taste the ocean without it being overpowering or like what you guys understand to be like fishy, you know? It's like we broke down a whole fish here in our house, and there's not a scent of fish smell. That's when you don't have fish fresh. Fresh fish? Okay. All right. So what we're going to be doing is just making little dices here. So you want to break this up in about 4 into fourths.
How big is that as far as like a cube goes?
As far as the cube goes,
Yeah, what would be something that's the same size as that?
a little bigger than an 1/8 cut for a dice.
So like a dice, like a
solid
die. Okay.
All right.
Someone's asking
Yeah.
if we don't have access to Kampachi, what would be a good fish to substitute?
Ooh, if you guys like shrimp, that's something that's really delicious, and also is coming from Sinaloa, so just a neighbor just down the street from these guys. We highly recommend the Del Pacifico shrimp. We could do a tutorial with that later, but they're actually incredibly eco-friendly. It's the only certified shrimp farm in the world that they actually catch the shrimp with. They have windsurfers, and they drag behind these nets in this bay, and it's actually incredible. But you taste the love, you taste the care, you taste, I mean, how incredible Mexico is. Okay, so once you're done, place this guy here. Okay, this guy here. Okay. Okay, and yeah, if you guys don't do this, tuna ceviche also is really delicious. We have a responsibly sourced tuna from local boats, also coming from Ensenada. Okay, here we are. And also we have great big eyes, great colored tuna.
So how much is that inside there?
That's about, what would you say, Matt? About half, 3/4 of a pound?
Yeah, that's about right. And for the recipe today?
Recipe today, we're going to be using about 1.5 pounds. So that's approximately about what you need to feed your family. You'll be about that much. So to not keep boring you guys with all of this, I'm going to be needing some lime pretty soon. So I could flip the camera over to Mika Ito.
Hi. Okay.
She's going to go grab us
Oh wait, I need my bowl.
the other ingredients. Okay, so follow Mika. We'll be
We're
back.
going out to the garden now. Here's Brother Matt.
Oh, we should stop by and see Matt. He's cooking these collars.
Oh yeah, wait.
What's he got going here?
How do you flip it? There we go.
Almost done. Check it out.
Holy crap.
Ooh, beautiful.
Let's get closer.
Wow. Wow.
How long did you cook these collars on the grill for? And what'd you put on them?
Just in that same time that I grabbed them. Just a little olive oil, salt, pepper. Just been, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes at the most.
All right, so we're out here in the garden right
Thanks,
now.
Matt.
We're gonna get some cilantro over here. We have a whole lot. So we're gonna need a lot for that ceviche.
Okay. Are we still on Pork Connection?
No, we're good.
Sorry about this, guys. We've been seeing a lot of lives, and they're just a lot of portions and stuff. This is right. So struggles of zooming everything or whatever, live streaming it all. I think that's enough.
I'm gonna put it in here.
What else we need?
We're
Lime?
gonna get some lime from our lime tree. Oh, Loki! Loki's out there hanging out in the planter.
That's right.
Let's put connection again.
All right, let's bring it back. Let's get the connection back on.
Back inside now.
Sorry about that connection issue.
Sorry about that. We got our limes and cilantro. We're back at Claire now.
Hola, everybody. How we doing? Okay.
Doing well.
Okay.
You might want to get some of those scales off the.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. I was just cutting up the skin. So if you guys want to make some dog treats or human treats, These are just the leftovers, so just put it in a saute pan. Don't add any oil. This fish has incredible fat content that's filled with omega-3, 6, 9. So yeah, if you guys want to add some, or just give your little friend, like our little Diego, if you guys want to get it closer.
Oh, I can't see him.
We'll show you our little buddy. His name is Diego. He's our resident wiener dog. Alright, so make sure every time you're doing, keep your board clean. Scales are messy, so go ahead and get rid of those. Don't be shy. Okay, so we have our fish. I'm going to put it in the fridge so you guys can, or just keep it cold, so hang on.
Ooh, look at those collars. Matt's all done with those. Oh my gosh.
Just please.
Wow, delicious.
Alright.
Yeah. So also on our website you can get collars. It's
Yeah, we just put up the Kampachi Kama this week.
Yeah, and we're definitely thinking and actually actively adding more, you could call them imperfect cuts to our menu. So whether it's a salmon collar or a kama collar, which is Kampachi collar, or, you know, we're thinking about putting on big eye belly, a couple other options as far as imperfect cuts go. So just keep your eyes out for those ones, and we'll be adding those momentarily.
Yeah, and the reason we mention it is because we really don't want to have fish waste. That's our main thing here, is that because we actually value these resources so much, it's actually really important that there's not any, we don't encourage fish waste. Okay, so we got baby sister. She's going to be helping us with the cilantro. I'm going to
Gotta wash my hands first.
Thank you, baby sister. Okay, so I'm going to juice some limes. If you guys don't have a juicer, or if you're being lazy like me, just take a fork and just squeeze it. Get all the juice out. You want to get approximately 1.5 cups or a cup. Ooh, these limes are delicious. Okay. What are you cutting board, sis?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so once again, the basic components of ceviche are a fish component, or in this case, if you're doing the vegan alternative, using cauliflower. So something that holds the body, that will absorb the marinade. Then we're going to put lime, add tomatoes, avocado, onion, and in our case you can do salt, pepper, but we like our secret recipe because we also have a Japanese, we have Japanese roots coming from my father's side. We like to add a little bit of soy sauce, or in our case we're kind of staying away from gluten these days, so we're doing liquid aminos, kind of to get that umami flavor. And in that same stretch, we're actually using olive oil as well to give a nice added fat to kind of.
Well, so somebody's asking if you don't have access to Kampachi, what
Oh,
would you...
we answered that.
Oh,
We're good. You're outside cooking.
I was out in the hole.
But you know,
Absolute.
but ceviche is an incredible recipe for any whitefish. If you have tuna, it's delicious. Like I said, if you don't have Kampachi and you just want to try the recipe and just to know what you're working with, go with cauliflower. You know, that's absolutely delicious. So we have baby sister Mika. Why do you pick it versus cutting it?
You just get all of the flavor on the cilantro leaves. You can just set the stems aside, but yeah, make sure you wash before anywhere you get your cilantro from, your garden or the store. Oops.
Garden.
I mean, wherever.
Garden.
But you know, some people don't have access to, or don't have a yard, don't have access to having a garden. It's whatever you guys can do. You know, that's really what. Just take the time to make a nutritious meal for yourself. You know, and whatever you can or don't or do have access to, you know, run with it. But don't feel like you need all of these things in order to do this. Mainly lime, salt, pepper. Cilantro is fun, but you don't need to have your own garden.
Good playlist.
Good play. Okay, guys. So we have a little bit of lime juice here.
Am I keeping up?
You're keeping up. I need to steal another one. Keep up, sis. How's everyone doing at home? Are you still staying sane? Are we happy with who we're with? Are we finding time with ourselves? What do you guys got going on? And
Oh, I got a question.
what's the question?
Let's see. We got DJ FL. Oh, looks like DJ Flex wants to know what's the best way to cook a Hokkaido scallop.
Ooh.
Oh,
So those are
soon.
sashimi quality and they're so delicious. I'll do a tutorial later this weekend, or we'll just do a follow along so you guys can kind of see how to break it down. But if you guys want sashimi, so that's my favorite preparation. And it's the simplest of the items to turn into like a nigiri. But yeah, you can also sear it. And that's just a little bit of olive oil or butter and salt, pepper. You can eat it, like I said, eating it sashimi is the simplest way to do it, and it's so great with a sprinkle of lemon or lime. But that's my favorite. All right, I'm gonna grab.
Again, if anyone has any cooking questions, use this as your advantage. You guys can definitely pick our brains on any proteins as far as seafood goes. If you want any guidance on some recipes, if you want to know any crazy burning questions about the industry, just shoot them our way. You know, you can send it to us during the stream, or you can send it to us after. Just feel free to reach out.
No. All right, so we have a little bit of lime here. All right. So we're making do. Usually you want to cover all of the, I mean, it's fine. We're in quarantine now. But you want it to at least cover. Oh yeah, you can just chop them up. Thank you, Vicky. But yeah, just cover your kampachi. All right, nicely diced, really beautiful. And once again, we're gonna cover it and we'll put it back in the fridge and leave it for about 15 minutes while we process all of our vegetables for the ceviche. I was gonna say for the cilantro.
Cilantro is a huge key, though.
All right. Okay, guys. So, let's go into our vegan alternative. If you guys want to actually do that, while the fish is marinating, we can get into our cauliflower here. So, if you guys want to use it as a salsa in addition, if you guys don't like raw fish, you can just do the cauliflower method and just saute the kampachi and eat that together, and it pairs really well. But for now, we're going to be showing you guys the alternative here. Okay. Okay, so we have gorgeously washed organic cauliflower here. Thank you, sister. Alright. Put this in for compost later. Are you transferring? What are you doing? All right. Okay. Show you with one here. And use the meat. And on these guys, just break up. All right. So I like to actually leave the stem. I like to use the florets as well. They can be odd-sized pieces, honestly. I love it all the same. We're gonna poop it out tomorrow anyway, so it's all good, everyone. All right. Okay. Mika, do you think you can go grab more limes for this guy? Okay. Thank you. How we doing, y'all? Are you guys okay? Okay.
Do, 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 do. I wanna eat.
All right. Those are the beautiful commas. All right. Oh, okay. Can you squeeze these girls and get me some? Let me get a little bowl for them. Okay. All right. So these ones, I'm going to go ahead and put in the water. If you want to come on over. You know what it's like. All right. Just drop them in. That's it. And we're going to boil them for a good, add more if you want to go with more. Rip them with your hands. Just have fun. Okay. And I have them boiling for about 5 to 10 minutes maximum, no more than 10, but 5 to 7 is the range I'm looking for here. Okay. Okay, so the next item. How you doing with that lime, Miki?
Good. Trying to squeeze them all out. This lemon juicer isn't really doing the limes very well. I just resorted to the fork.
Yeah. It's not a perfect cooking show, but we're
So
It's real.
we have a question here.
yeah.
If you don't have a fish or a vegetable to do ceviche with, what do you do it with? I'm just kidding. I set you up.
What? I
don't know what's that about, bro. Okay. Pass me the brown bowl, like. There you go. Thanks, bud. Okay. So, little ingredients vendor. Okay. So go with the least. So if they're messy or smelly or anything like that, the ingredients that you're working with, kind of, this is my brother Matt kind of taught me this. Don't start with something like garlic. You know, start with things that don't stink the cutting board if you intend to use the same cutting board. So we started with the cauliflower. Now moving on to the tomatoes. Then we'll work our way to our onions. I've been touching a few things, so I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands. While Mika is going to go ahead and strain the cauliflower. Actually, it seems a little bit faster than we thought. Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
No, this guy.
no, I know. You have it in the strainer. Yes, you can do this landlord.
So, the lesson for today is adaptation for the Ito family. You know, we originally posted we'll be doing some, you know, Ayurvedic recipe with saffron rice, but our Ayurvedic commissioner wasn't able to make it today, so we're gonna go ahead. That's why we're rolling with this guy today. So, anyway, so we're kind of having fun. We're kind of winging it today, and I enjoy it. I just feel like we're cooking. We really are just cooking here, cooking on a Sunday. Okay. So definitely under 5 minutes on the boil on the cauliflower because the pieces are so small. Oh. Okay. All right. So for these collies, we're actually going to let them also marinate in the. This is what Mika just drained for us. Okay. Let them cook. All right. Okay. All right. So just toss these around just a little bit. Make sure. All right, and we'll also let them put them aside to chill. Can you put in the fridge, please? Yeah. Gracias. Okay, so back to the tomatoes. So far we've cut our Kampachi, we've diced it up. We're just cutting up little pieces of the tomatoes here to give a little bit of color and body. Depending on what size of tomato you have access to, I'd say you can add 1 tomato. In this case, we have pearl tomatoes. So our pearl tomatoes, I'm putting in about 5 because we love tomatoes. Here we go. Okay. All right. So, Maddie, while I'm chopping all these up, can we get some background on the King Kampachi farms?
Sure.
Yeah. Because I don't think you guys want to watch me chop up veggies all day.
Well, that's fun. I could chop and talk too.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Roti
Chop
time.
and talk?
Okay, so can you give me a half a white onion?
Yeah.
Chop and talk, bro. And
So,
quick thing, we'll be cutting. We're actually going to be feathering the onions here. So
feathering them.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Okay. So what we're gonna do, what Matt just did, cut it down the center right here. Okay. Then what we want to do, keep the bud.
Keep it.
Oh wait, we're not doing. Okay. So clean off your unnecessary ends. You can take the bud off actually. I misspoke. Okay. Cut your bud off.
Yeah, cut it off. Okay.
Okay, and we're gonna actually cut it in half right here. So, see the lines of the onion going lengthwise here? What we're going to be doing is actually cutting it down the middle right here. So when it comes like this, slice it so perpendicular to the lines of the onion. Okay, and then very thinly, we're gonna need you to chop the onion here. Okay, so coming down from here. Okay,
Oh.
and what you're looking for, yeah, so you're looking for little feathers here. So just an accent of color. Anyway, all right, so Matt and Blake actually just came back from this incredible trip down to visit our King Kampachi farms.
Right.
When was this? A couple months ago?
Yeah, that was back in January, I believe.
Yeah.
Did that? So, anyways, we were down there visiting King Kampachi Farms. Really beautiful time down there. Farm is located in La Paz, which is about 2 hours away from Cabo San Lucas. So a quick 2-hour drive over there, and then you're off into La Paz. La Paz is on the inside of the Sierra Cortez in Mexico on the southern Baja tip, just inside. So it's like the first city that you basically come across once you go on the inside of Baja. So La Paz is it's a fishing town. It's very isolated from the rest of Mexico. If you think about it, it's actually almost like an island in terms of where it's located geographically to the rest of Mexico. So it's further off. It's on the most southern point of Baja. Roads go down there, and the only way that you can get across to Mexico is actually through a ferry system that goes from La Paz to the mainland. So it's actually very clean waters, open sites over there. The only other kind of industry that's nearby there is some mining, and besides that, there's no real industry nearby. So it's basically all
Privado.
yeah, private to some degree.
Yeah, but we've actually gone to La Paz to vacation. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's such a beautiful place. One thing that we actually look for in sourcing is, first off, do you want the fish to come? Do we want our products to come from there? And if we say no, if it's some industrial vat and you're feeding the fish soy and all of these things, then we're gonna say no. But La Paz is absolutely beautiful.
Well,
And
Hey, can you talk a bit more about responsible farming?
yeah, so the Kampachi
Just
is
in
actually-
general?
Yeah, the cool thing about the responsible farms that you want to get at is it's all about site location, what you feed the fish, and then the real impact that it has on the environment. So site selection is so important for that when it comes down to making sure that you choose the right area.
yeah, big time.
It's a big part of water in, water out. Also, it's you know, it's a big determinant of what kind of nutrients are going to be constantly available for the fish in their life cycle. So this is open. We're talking about open ocean culture farming inside of pens here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this farm in particular for the Kampachi is actually ASC certified. That's Aquaculture Stewardship Council. They also, it's in the same vein of, if you've heard of MSC, Marine Stewardship Council, there are the aquaculture version of sustainability practices. So it's it goes through a very rigorous process of making sure to meet that standard. You know, and just like we mentioned before, with all those different kind of areas of feed, environmental impact, social impact, those are all determinants on whether or not a farm can actually get that certification and they have qualified for this.
Hey guys, so just we got about 15 minutes left on the stream.
Cool.
If you guys got any more last questions or concerns or I don't know, whatever you guys want, just shoot them our way and we'll try to answer them at the end.
Yeah.
And
now
again,
we're gonna finish up our ceviche.
yep.
Facts with Matt. Ciao, ciao. Yeah. All right. So looping back in here to the vegetables. Thank you, Matt Bear. Okay. So Matthew is actually going to be chopping the. We didn't have any habanero chilies, or we didn't have any jalapenos. So what we're actually going to be doing is we had some pickled peppers. We're going to improvise. Vinegar is really delicious in the ceviche, so this is what we're working with. So Matt's splitting it. The seeds are the hot part. So actually, we like to keep it. We're pretty spicy. Yeah, honestly.
I was gonna say you wanted me to take these out.
No. They're my favorite part. And what I'm going to be doing.
Mika, what you got over there?
Oh, I cooked up the scraps. I'm gonna give them to Diego, our trusty wiener dog.
Where's he at?
Diego.
Oh, wait, hold it. All right.
1 second, Mika.
Okay.
The viewers want to see the wiener dog eat fish.
1 second. Okay, and so what we're doing actually right now, making some red cabbage cups. So these are, I'm just pulling the cabbage off, cutting it at the base here, and here, just give a couple cuts, and just gently but firmly pull. Oh, that was a bad example. Okay.
Firmly grasp.
Here. Okay, guys. Hold that. There we go. Cut it off completely. There we go. And just pull. And a cute little cup to serve it in. Okay. And we'll put these here to the side. Okay, and lastly, we'll be doing the avocado. Alright.
By the way, Matt, JD says thank you for the explanation on the responsible aquaculture.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so once you have an avocado, quick pro tip, instead of scooping it out and potentially cutting your hand, well, this is also dangerous, but we like to actually peel down the back. There we go.
Don't like avocados admit like the most amount of people into like hospitals?
Yeah, just be very careful.
It's like,
Cutting off.
you know, it's like taking out the seed. Like people always, it's like that and making bagels. I think it's like cutting through a bagel, you know, splitting them. People always cut their hand open with those. Sorry, random facts here.
Okay. All right. We have our pure meat, and same thing. Nice avocado. Also a sweet little dice here. All right, add it to our ceviche. All right, so Mika just pulled our marinating fish out of the fridge. There it is, really beautiful. Okay. And as you can see, the fish started cooking through. It's starting to look more white. So you can see right here, as if you broiled it. Still translucent, but this is sashimi quality. So You can actually prepare this the day before, things like that, but
So technically it's cooked.
yeah, technically it's cooked after 20 minutes. So, once we've added, let me take out some of these onions. That's a lot of onions.
Yeah,
My
sticky
bad.
breaths.
Okay, everybody. So, mixing up the veggies. And let's go ahead and add our Kampachi. There we go. And last but not least, our favorite element is cilantro. Okay. Alright, go ahead and mix up your ceviche. All the elements will start to marry. The tomato, the onions, the avocado.
Some salt.
Yeah. Okay, we have a pinch of salt, pepper. All right, to taste. A pinch of freshly ground black pepper. A dash, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And let's do one more. And another dash, I'd say about a tablespoon of the liquid aminos.
Or soy sauce.
Or soy sauce, whatever you have available. Mix them together. Alright.
Question.
Yeah.
What fruit work well with the ceviche?
Ooh. Honestly, I would put an apple would be delicious in here. Apples really absorb flavors well and are not overwhelming when adding them. Yeah, okay. This is the beautiful.
Apple.
Yeah, I would say apple, honestly. That would be.
I heard mango works too. Is that okay?
Yeah, mango's delicious, and also jicama, if you guys want to go that way. Jicama holds, well, not a fruit, another vegetable, but that one holds really well. Okay, while this is marrying together, we're going to put together very quickly the cauliflower just to show you guys. Just a moment.
Wait, we should feed Diego.
No.
Where's Diego?
Hold up, let's finish. Oh God. Diego has been eating all day.
Yeah, you guys will see shortly what we're talking about.
So we'll use some of the onions. Same one.
So where's the ceviche originally from, Claire?
Well, this recipe is just a standard recipe coming from Chiapas, but honestly, ceviche is a coastal recipe. This is coming from. It's a simple adaptation, but you'll find so many different recipes online, or if you're traveling, you can have beautiful aguachiles coming from Peru, coming from Mexico. A lot of different iterations of it.
Yeah. Also, if you guys want to look up a good recipe too, as an alternative, there's agua de tigre, and that's a really beautiful tasting, kind of like like a fish cocktail, or kind of like a shrimp seafood cocktail. Really good.
All right. For the cauliflower, again, we have a little bit of salt, pepper, where'd our tomato go?
The big girl?
The big girl. All right.
Give it a little.
Here.
Okay,
Chop.
adding our cilantro, cute washed tomato. And do a quick dice on her too.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, estamos bien.
Ready to eat.
Okay. All right. And go ahead. Can you grab me a bigger bowl, Miki?
Question: can you use any other kinds of spice instead of like a pepper?
Yeah, yeah. I love using paprika. That one's super delicious. Yeah. There's the ceviche.
It's the vegan ceviche.
Yeah. So this is the vegan alternative. Yeah. Okay, to answer your question, you can use cayenne. You can use any red pepper that you have. It doesn't matter, as long as whatever heat element that you enjoy. Okay, so to finish it off. Oh, they're hungry, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so we have our ceviche here. We get a nice little scoop of it here and put it into our cup. All right. Some onions. Diego's hungry.
I think we need to give him some food.
Oh, senor.
Yeah, let's feed this guy.
Yeah, while Claire's filling those cups, we'll go back to it for tasting. But
We'll be right back.
right now we're gonna feed Diego. Hi, Diego bud.
Oh yes.
Oh, your favorite.
Fish skins.
Mmm. It's Diego's
So what did you
big
just
day.
feed him? Was that the skin?
Yeah,
was
that
it the
was his
bloodline?
There's the skin. So I think this one here is the bloodline. Diego loves that too. Oh, not
Oh.
that piece. You like the
He
skin
wants
better
the
right
skins,
now?
yeah.
Oh, you want this? Yeah.
Yeah, he likes his skins.
It's his favorite. It's all crunchy, huh?
Yeah, and as you guys can see, get a good meal for your dog. You know, like just with the scraps that you would be throwing away.
And look at that, the shiny fur coat.
Yeah, shiny fur coat and a nice thickness around the butt. We're back.
It's very thick.
Okay, everybody. You got it.
Nice thick.
Yes. Yeah, actually. See how so Black Dynamite actually has there's basically no waste at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's basically no waste.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's no waste. So, like we said before, with the carcasses, we'll be turning into a dashi that we can make a bunch of sauces out of and kind of work from there. But this is the final product, everybody. If you guys want to see, these are just ceviche cups.
Oh
These,
my gosh. Look at our film right here. He's filming right here. This is my older brother. He's filming and he's eating at the same time.
What are you talking about?
Eating is our favorite thing to do.
this is not a drill, guys. We are actually cooking and eating out here. Okay, and we'll do one more cup with our cauliflower here. Okay. All right. Shout out to Paige Bittner for teaching me what it's like to be, or to how to properly utilize a cauliflower or the red cabbage. I definitely did not use it in my cooking repertoire for a long time, and this is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, also shout out to Genevieve. Thank you so much again for including us in this mix. We absolutely love the community and the streams that we've been watching, and everyone else out there is doing an incredible job. Thank you for putting up wonderful content. But I think right now is the time. I think we're gonna try this out, guys.
Yep,
So-
we got 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining.
Okay, well, who wants to go in with the bite? Mika?
Mika's going in.
Oh yeah.
Let's take it outside. Are you hot?
Look at outside.
Some beautiful sun out today.
Catch me
It's
outside.
not for you, dude.
Catch me outside.
It's not for you, man.
Oh,
It's for Mika.
This is all for me.
No, it's not. Or if you want to eat it like a taco, you can do that too.
Ooh.
But
I'll try that.
I'm gonna go ahead and do myself a little bit of a taco here. But okay, besos, bon appetit, bon provecho. Enjoy.
Thank
Love
you.
y'all.
Have a beautiful
you.
day.
Yeah,
Enjoy
absolutely.
the sun.
Thank you,
Catch us
Secular
rays.
Sabbath, for
Thank
having
you so
us.
much.
Thank you, Genevieve, for everything, and everybody involved in the process. So we'll have ourselves a good Sunday, and I hope you guys do too.
Thank
Thank you from Riviera
you.
Cedar Club and the Ito family.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Besos.